Hey guys, you may have heard Kelly and I talk about our new project, Switch Away USA. We were on pause while some of our team took a much needed vacation, which we did too, but we're about to ramp this thing up big time.
It's a way to push back against those big corporations controlling 90% of the products we consume.
97%, actually. 11 huge corporations behind the manufacture and distribution of the vast majority of stuff you buy every day. So why not purchase American-made, non-toxic products instead of supporting corrupt monopolies pushing stuff filled with potentially harmful chemicals and other ingredients we can't even pronounce and don't need? During the pandemic, millionaires and billionaires got 62% richer while the middle class got crushed.
Think about that. All the shutdowns, the mom and pop family-owned restaurants and stores were forced to close, while huge stores like Walmart, Target, Amazon, Whole Foods, Sam's Club, and were all considered essential, but the mom and pops weren't.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Let's start doing the right thing, the smart thing.
It's time to switch with Rick and Kelly.
Time to switch to a clean home with an agenda we all believe in.
It's time to put America first and support an American-made manufacturer with the strength and scale to fight against the conglomerates.
Join our movement by joining us for the final Zoom call this coming Monday with our friends Jeff and Nate, who will explain the easy steps you can follow to be part of our movement and make extra money for yourself and your family while enjoying cleaner, safer products delivered right to your front door.
The link to our Zoom is in the description box for this show. So come join us Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, and be part of our movement to make America first. Welcome to the Daily Smash for Thursday, November 16th, 2023. I'm Rick.
I'm Kelly.
Coming up, a way for you to fall asleep faster, and a very minor Tustin Hangar Fire update. But first, cheers, my love.
Cheers.
It's a rainy day in Newport Beach.
I love it.
It's so rare.
It's so nice. Nice to have a rainy day. Rainy day schedule.
We went to Curl Gym this morning here on Lido and rode our bikes, which I love doing. Mm-hmm. And then while we were working out, it started raining.
I'm like, how are we going to ride our bikes back?
And I'm like, well, I mean, at least it's just rain. You know, if we were in New York or somewhere where it was wintertime and it started snowing or icing or whatever, like, then it would be dangerous.
Is this like amateur hour for you for rain?
It was a sprinkle.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy thing. Okay, first of all, it hardly ever rains here. But secondly, when it does, it's not usually a heavy downpour. I mean, it can happen, and I had an accident in the rain. But typically, it's like a sprinkle. And in New York, when I was in New York, man, it would rain. In Florida, too.
Yeah.
We experienced it when we were down there.
You drove from New York all the way down to Florida.
Oh, that's right. And
it was rain the whole entire time. I was on pins and needles.
For 10 hours.
Yeah.
It would downpour, like horrific. It doesn't happen here. Very rarely happens here. Mm-hmm. But so Kelly looks at me, she's like, well, how are we going to get home? I'm like, well, I mean, I could ride the bike home and get the car and come back and pick you up. She's like, no, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, it's not it's just rain. We'll be fine. And we were, except your foot slipped at one point on the...
Yeah, I almost fell.
You did?
Yeah, but my cat
cat-like reflexes?
Yes.
We're having a glass of wine because we were dealing with like a list of stuff. You know how you're away on vacation for 10 days, you come back and you're trying to get to all the things you missed.
And you have a stack of bills like this. And
phone calls you have to make, and like you had to settle something with your credit card account.
Julie has to get her wisdom teeth out, $3,000, and Michael won't. He's checked out, I think, completely from her life. Done. He won't.
And I checked with our insurance because, we have Aetna. Been on it for a while. And I used to have dental, but it was never that great.
I had dental too, and I never didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I always had to pay, like, out of pocket.
Right.
Like, for a crown, it was always $2,000. I always had dental insurance.
Yeah, it's like you use up your deductible like that.
Yeah.
And so then I said, well, because there's 1 day left for that period where you can change your elections for the following year. It actually ends tomorrow. Uh-huh. I just happened to be on the phone with them. I was like, well, what would it cost me to get dental insurance for next year for the family? And, what would it cost and what would it cover? She goes, yeah, because you're at retirement age, you can't get it.
I just don't understand how a grown man just completely checks out of Julie's got to be the sweetest, nicest child. She doesn't want to go over there because she can't stand Laura. And Julie's like, I can't believe you never told me you got married. I think that he is mentally ill. And I just keep telling her that. Now Julie wants to go see a therapist. So I had to schedule her to see a therapist because her dad is screwed up.
Well, it's unfortunate. Everyone could use a little counseling. My parents are both counselors. I'm glad that our health insurance does cover that.
Yes.
And
my girlfriend, she is a recovering alcoholic. She's gone through tons of therapy. And she said, you can either choose to be a victim or you can choose to be a fighter. And I like that.
Me too.
And the way she's, I think therapy can help because I never would think about that. We grew up where we're you can't be mentally
weak.
Get over yourself, push forward. Everybody has issues in their life. Everybody, everybody.
True.
Everybody has issues. Everybody has problems. If it's not one thing, it's the next. I think everybody can understand that.
You just look at it like a tune-up. We all need a tune-up once in a while. That's all it is. It's a tune-up.
Right.
For the brain, for the psyche.
I just hope this whack job doesn't instill his craziness into my daughter. We have to pay for everything. I'm done with him. I'm not going to ask him. And I don't want to take him to court because it's going to cost me $25,000 for a retainer and it's not worth it.
No. You know what? Let him live with this knowledge for the rest of his life that he abandoned his daughter. He didn't even go
to his dad's own funeral a half a year ago. His dad died. He didn't even go to his dad's funeral. That's my mom said, speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes on what kind of character he has.
Where is your mom?
I don't know. I think she might be in Julie's room.
Oh, hiding?
Hiding.
Your mom's a trip, by the way.
Yeah.
I love her being here.
I do too.
And I love the chili you made last night. That's going to be on this week's Rick and Kelly show, the Cooking with Kelly. I think. Are we doing that this week or next week? Do we decide?
The Cooking with Kelly?
We have dozens of people sign up for the Rick and Kelly show in the last 2 days. And I think it's because of the Rachel Yucatel interview that's coming up.
Yeah.
She was once the most famous and probably the most hated woman in the world because of her role in the Tiger Woods scandal. And we sat down and talked to her for close to an hour. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
And we're going to put the whole interview on our Rick and Kelly show this week, which is on Patreon. And it's subscriber-based, so no commercials. A much longer version of this. I wanted to share we got some really good comments. Oh, the short update on the Tustin Hangar Fire.
Wait, do you think with this rain that fire is going to go out?
I don't know if it's going to be enough concentrated in the right places. A lot of people were like, why didn't they just, now you said it, why don't they just fly over? If they can't get the hoses thousands of feet to it and they don't have enough water pressure, why don't just fly those helicopters over at the planes? And
or those red things, that red dust that they, the croppers.
The fire retardant?
Yeah, that one.
But, okay, so there's numerous issues at play here. One of them is there's an airport nearby. So you would have to coordinate any aerial activity with incoming and outgoing flights. And it's a pretty busy airport. Mm-hmm. But also there's a lot of cost involved. And they're not saving this building and there are no lives at risk. The complicating factor is that the air may be toxic. The smoke may be toxic. So that would lead you to say, well, why then they should do an aerial thing. But maybe it's just such a small isolated area that it really wouldn't be effective unless they were right on top of it, dumping it right on the thing, in which they need the hoses for that.
I want to go back tomorrow and see if this rain killed the fire.
Okay. Well, I want to go back. Oh, so the update is they're going to demolish the structure.
Good.
Whoever set it on fire was probably doing that so that they would demolish it. We don't know if somebody set it on fire, but...
Well, those condos, so we looked at those condos around there, and they're like 1.5. Those condos.
really nice, brand new developments that have sprung up.
In Tustin, right by there. And
Yeah.
somebody asked me, it's really expensive to live here.
I thought that those were going to be the bargain.
I did
because
too,
they're
because it's
out.
far.
Yeah, they're far, and they're like next to a shopping center, but they're not near the beach.
Not at all.
It's kind of like a random area. I mean, I guess convenient for commuting, and they do look really nice.
But they're condos.
Yeah, like townhouses
In the
and
middle,
apartments.
in Tustin.
Yeah. So they're going to demolish the structure in the next few days. They haven't announced exactly when yet. We hope to have our daily smash cameras on the scene when the demolition begins, but that depends on where our daily smash cameras are that day. we know we're going to LA Sunday to be on Jeff Lewis Monday morning. In case you subscribe or listen to Sirius XM, you should listen on Monday. That's going to be I think there's going to be some stuff revealed on that show.
Right.
Me too. Oh, let's tell them about Ilya wine.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
I wish I could open some up right now. But
You want to put these in your wine fridge, and if you don't have a wine fridge, in your fridge. Ilya.com, first 2 bottles, 20% off with the discount code RickandKelly20, or you can order 3 or more bottles and get free shipping,
yeah.
including the UK where they now deliver. They have a wine club. It is tasty. Is this the Roble Red?
Yep.
Yes, this is and I love Roble Red. I do.
Moscatel Macabeo.
And this is my favorite white, Moscatel Macabeo.
It is too. I love it. So yummy.
Delivered right to your front door. Ilya.com. That we can't
Wait,
talk
can we
about.
just talk about the stage 5 clinger that keeps is a nutcase? That
I don't know.
This lady's unstable.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I have a group chat, and on my Patreon, I had this wacko, and everybody thinks it's Elizabeth Vargas that came on like 30 times. But I have this crazy, crazy lady that goes to Ilya, goes to all my sponsorships, and writes like the craziest,
unhinged nasty things.
Like psycho. Like,
yeah.
It is like, I can't even tell you. This lady is so invested in Rick and I, and she called me dumb because Rick wrote the letter device. Yeah, Rick is a writer. I could have wrote it. Of course I could have. But Rick is a professional here. He knows how... he is 100 times smarter than I am.
Well, no, I don't know about that, but I am a very good writer.
Yes.
But you have very good ideas, and so what happens is it's a collaboration. Kelly will tell me what she wants to say to someone, and I'll just start writing it down, and she'll give me directions to go in or stuff to add, things that I wouldn't think about, but she does, and it's like the best of both worlds.
So this lady
I clean up her grammar too, stuff like that.
But this lady is it's if I were to go after somebody that I don't even know or have never met, but they feel like they know me, like you need to go check yourself in to a crazy ward because, I mean, stop worrying about me. Worry about yourself. And then she said something like her skin is, she's 65 and we were like dying laughing. We zoomed up her. She looked like she looked.
She was saying her skin was better than yours or something.
She looked like that crazy lady from what was that show with the rabbit?
Oh, Fatal Attraction.
Yes, like blonde, like short hair,
say,
weird, like crazy.
When you're a public figure, which you are, you're now open to those kinds of people.
Oh,
who
I know.
Feel like they know you and want to come after you, but the other wacky thing is, Kelly was like, took my phone. She's like, I want to block this person, and she goes in my phone
because everybody's telling me to block them. Like,
yeah, so she goes to block her on my phone.
It was already blocked, but she's got like 5 accounts.
What does that tell you?
She's got like 5 accounts.
Because she gets blocked on one and she opens another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
So, how much energy do we expend on silencing, blocking, or deleting angry or nasty or just unhinged?
I just couldn't even unhinged. I couldn't imagine going on like somebody I can't stand that I know personally is Tamara Judge, but I would never go like make accounts and like come after her. I mean, like that's like or somebody I didn't even know or I've never met.
I feel like you'd have to have a lot of time on your hands to do something like that.
Yeah.
Or have like just really strong agenda. against someone
It's insane.
who you've never met, and if you did, it was at a meet and greet.
And then she says, if I'm going to run into her in Orange County, she's going to have it. Like, ooh.
Was that a threat?
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to threaten people.
Yeah, it's a threat.
Then you should report that comment, because that's not okay.
It was on cosmetic care.
On another website, on Cosmetic Care's Instagram.
Yeah, on cosmetic care, she wrote this.
That is a very...
It's happy_201883. She put, actually, Kelly, you're full of ignorance, self-centeredness, hypocritical thoughts, and straight up, you're a dumbass. That's why Rick write the response letter to Vice. That's what she wrote. She's
That's just...
Right here, wait.
That's uncalled for.
You're too stupid. She doesn't even know how to write. And uneducated. Okay, before you call me stupid and uneducated, learn to write, please. Okay?
Is she going to give you a hard time for not
she's giving me
writing?
Yeah.
And then she writes...
You should start saying, I'm Heinz 57. I would love to run into you on Newport Beach. Onto Newport Beach. Look at her. She's like a I was going to say
you know what?
something bad.
I look forward to that day, because I will record it.
Wait, watch this. I would love to run into you on Newport Beach as you need a rude awakening, and I would give it to you.
Although your
pussy-whipped husband
might
make that impossible.
You aren't a cook either. First of all, I'm not pee-whipped.
You aren't a cook either.
I'm not pee-whipped.
I'm not a cook either. I do it every day. What do you think?
Kelly is a fantastic cook. This lady has no idea. First of all, she's never eaten your cooking. That's guaranteed. She has never eaten what you cook.
But going on to cosmetic care website, like that was just one time. And then she went and said another thing. And then she went on another one. I'm not even going to read that one because that's so crazy.
Well,
like
thanks for writing, lady.
Go get checked.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
Go see a psychiatrist. Like, do yourself a favor and concentrate your hate and your anger and make it positive for yourself. Please. Please. Like, I just, you will feel better about yourself.
People who write nice things wrote a lot of nice things about our show yesterday, including Syrian Maj. See, I'm not that smart. I can't read that name. This was an awesome show. The variety of content was interesting.
Yes.
There were a lot of compliments on your scarf tutorial from yesterday. People loved that. And there were a lot of comments about my rant on the I-10 closure that was started by a fire in a pallet yard. We had heard it was a homeless person who started the fire because that was the first initial report. And now there's some talk about an investigation, and it may have been some bad actor who intentionally started the fire to mess with because they were mad at the city. We don't know who started the fire. Okay, if we made it clear that there was a homeless person, we don't actually know that for sure.
Right.
So if we have to do a Daily Smash retraction for the third time in 2 weeks, we will. The fire's under investigation, okay? But
they said it's most likely. Well,
because there are homeless people living under the freeway, and that leads to another discussion that we're going to get to. But
yeah.
I did want to read a couple other comments. This is from SoCal Rocker Gal.
I love her.
I was born and raised in LA, and there has always been homeless people, but it was concentrated to Skid Row. It's so much worse now. My brother's corporate office is in the financial district of downtown LA, and he said homeless people pull down their pants on the sidewalk and take a dump.
So they do that in San Francisco. In front of my girlfriend Lena's.
He said it's absolutely disgusting. He sees it all the time. His company has armed guards in the lobby so homeless don't stroll in. And a lot of you are like, including JB Hay, where are they supposed to go? They can't go anywhere. No money, good, etc. It would be nice if there were a place to live. I'm sure they don't like living under a bridge.
Well, no, that's true. That's not true. We spoke to a lot of people that have interviewed these homeless, and they don't want to get help.
I have done stories with homeless people many times. I've gone to shelters many times.
They want to live they want to live in the tents. They want that. They want that.
Couple points here. One is that the shelters typically don't allow drugs or alcohol, and a lot of these people are addicts or just want to get high. So they won't go to a shelter because they can't drink and they can't do their drugs. Other homeless are mentally ill, and there are no longer the same kind of facilities to take those people in, or they're out of...
But it's okay for the government to give $1 billion to Ukraine, $1 billion to Iraq. That's okay.
So this brings me to my point, which someone got mad at me for saying this. No, I don't want homeless people living on the streets. I don't want them living under freeways. I don't want them living in public parks. I don't want them pitching tents and building shanty towns on sidewalks and public areas. I don't want that, and I think they should be
banned.
Cleared out. Well, where are they supposed to go? Well, the city should have already created a place for them to go, and the focus should be on why the city isn't providing a place for them to go. Not on, well, they have nowhere to go. They need a place to go. Yeah, sure, make a place for them to go if they'll even go there. But in the meantime...
A lot of those people don't want to go there. They want to live on the
Fine, that's
streets.
up to them. But you need to clear them off of the public spaces and any areas that could lead to health hazards, fires in under freeways, health hazards on public sidewalks, camping out in front of businesses, in front of people's homes. That's not okay. So no, I don't support that. They got to move them out. They'll find a place where they're not going to get disturbed if they have to. But in the meantime, the city and the state should provide a safe place for them to go.
That's why we pay taxes.
Even if it's a field.
That's why we pay taxes.
A field with tents available, because I know that there are tents available. The city can buy 100,000 tents and stack them up in the corner of a giant field that's city-owned property that they're not using, and put in some porta potties. And okay, you need a place to go. You can go here until you find another place. And in the meantime, go look for a job.
Rick Caruso.
Is that insensitive?
Yeah, no. Rick Caruso did this big, huge thing to have these little houses, these little projects. They didn't want to live there.
Right.
They didn't want to.
Right.
They want to live in a tent. They want to live out there. Like it's what they want. They created a shelter in place down there. Rick Caruso did that.
Probably because there were rules involved.
Right.
Holly Keller, 1545. Jeff Bezos supposedly donated $100 million for the homeless. That should have gone a long way. Do you know of any project that money went towards? No idea.
Where did that Black Lives Matter stuff go to? Where did all that money go to?
Where those millions go?
Where are those millions?
They could have built some shelters.
They could have built some shelters. They could even build some school stuff for the black community. They didn't do any of that. They were buying mansions with that money. And that's what these government officials that everybody votes into, it's follow the money.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything for these people. They think that, well, you get these people like, we care. No, they don't. They're not doing anything to help.
It's unfortunate. I don't want to, I probably sound heartless. I'm not heartless. I want them to get the help they need. I just don't want them living on sidewalks in front of businesses and homes in any metropolitan area. That's not where they should be, and we should not put up with that. That alone should force authorities to create a place for them to go. That's it. It's a very simple thing.
Why did they get rid of all the for the mentally ill? That remember, like back in the 50s,
states decided they didn't want to keep paying for that. I think, and there were issues with some of them, like the one Geraldo Rivera investigated back in the 70s on Long Island, where they were completely mistreating these people. It was just really poorly run, and the conditions were awful. I agree with you that we spend far too much money on foreign wars and foreign governments when we have problems here at home that need addressing. And that's a very, very powerful point. Take some of that money and start spending it on the people who need it here at home.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're going to let all these people into the country without following the proper immigration procedures, now you're just creating a bigger issue, because now you have millions more people looking for a place to stay without a job, and you're going to have to care for them, and you're going to care for them first before the American citizens who are already here who are in trouble, and they don't have the help they need, and you're just compounding the problem. So think about that for a second.
I was in Munich, Germany for Oktoberfest. My friends live there. They work for, one of them, the husband's German, and Christina is from Colorado. And I went to go visit them probably like 6 years ago. And I was in Munich, and I was like, wow, they don't have any of these problems. Like you don't see any of that stuff.
Maybe they were smart enough to figure it out and take care of the people who need taken care of.
It's the craziest thing. They don't have that. They don't have that.
Believe it or not, we're running long. I want to get one more topic here, and that is the hangars. This from Shopgirl 9937. 80 years and not one incident with those hangars. Maybe the developer paid the homeless guy that set fire on the I-10 freeway to take care of business, allegedly. Kelly's convinced somebody started that fire in the hangar.
Well, not only that, all my friends that are from here.
They say that too?
Yeah.
Kelly Fender said, the news clip you made of the hangar was so cool, Rick. Can you tell us how news anchors all know how to talk like that?
Yeah, how do they?
All this just into the Daily Smash newsroom. I think it's a mimicking thing that people may not even realize they're doing. They think that the newsman needs an authoritative voice. It needs to speak in a deeper tone and from the diaphragm and to
how do you learn that?
enunciate certain words and to. They do have. They maybe they all go to the same class at Syracuse University.
What about the Walter Cronkite School at Arizona State University?
I was always of the opinion that you should be yourself as much as possible. You do want to sound authoritative, but I would always try to speak conversationally and tell a story in the way that I might tell a friend or my wife. You know, I want to tell you the news, and I'm telling you the news at the same time. Don't get into all that. I'm here, and that just. I tried not to be affected. Sometimes it's not easy. Like you're in a tracking booth, you're reading the audio for your story. There's almost like this. You can't almost help it to fall into that habit of reading it like a newsman should read a story. Mm-hmm. It just happens. I don't know. I had one more comment. Oh, on the Clorox box. Someone told you that they were sent to a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah. And they had the same reaction I did.
But Lori Orevec said, I'd be happy to be regifted any of those items. Thank you in advance.
Aw.
Okay, finally now, in the news. Cricketing could help you fall asleep faster. And it's backed by science. Have you ever heard of cricketing?
Like a cricket that's either a cricket's hearing chirps or a cricketing you just play the cricket?
I was thinking of chirping too. That was my first reaction. Some people swear by rubbing their feet together before bed.
I do that because my feet are always cold.
You don't do it to be like a cricket?
No.
To ease yourself into a peaceful slumber? Well, the term cricket feet has 53.4 million views on TikTok, where sleepyheads have shared videos of themselves touting the technique that leaves them feeling snug as a bug. Apparently, rubbing your feet together like a cricket before going to bed helps you to relax and fall asleep.
I want to try it tonight.
That is a very simple solution to insomnia, perhaps.
So, do you just go like this?
Oh, look at your cute socks.
Yeah, I got them at Costco. Do you go like this? Is that what cricketing is?
Kinda, yeah. It's not making the noise though.
It's not making me sleep.
You don't feel woozy, tired now?
I think that's a bunch of BS.
Try it tonight and let us know how it goes, will you? Cricketing. Cricket at home. We are excited about this coming Monday Zoom call for Switch with Rick and Kelly.
USA.
Yeah, Switch Away USA, Switch with Rick and Kelly. We have a team. We're building a team. We're building a movement. We're going to make a difference. We're going to start spending less time at Costco. We do, admittedly, still go to Costco, but we're going to start spending less time and less money at Costco and more time and more money on American-made products that are using safe, non-toxic ingredients. And you can too. And you can be part of our team.
The reason why we went to Costco really was because we were right by the hangar, and I wanted to look for Christmas garland and like stuff like that. I wanted to get Christmas stuff.
And we did. We got those holly. Can you see any? No. We got some hollies. Is that what they are? Hollies? Poinsettias. I'm a Jew. What do I know about holly or poinsettia? But we did get some. And we got some socks. And we got some paper towels. But
Switchaway USA is
that's our.
The movement. The reason why we're totally into this movement is because during that whole COVID thing, you saw all those mom and pop stores that have been around for 50 years just got crushed.
That pissed me off big time. I was so mad about that.
And you see Walmart's, Sam's Club, Costco's,
big
all
box
saying
stores
those are essential. Like, no, everything's essential. Okay, running a business is essential. Like, what makes you think because they're big box retailers that they're essential and the mom and pop stores aren't? That's what really why I got involved in this movement.
And the other thing that I didn't know about that opened my eyes was that these 11 conglomerates own so many, like 97% of the brands we buy. And you would think like Tom's, for example. Tom's toothpaste, it's
supposed to be
organic
green
and natural, and you forget it in Whole Foods. Tom's was sucked up by one of those 11, along with almost everything else you buy, and they control now the manufacturer of those products. They control what goes into those products.
PG&E, Johnson & Johnson.
All of them. They're just, they buy up all these little ones that are competing with their products, and they make it part of their conglomerate, and then they can make it there, and they make them all in the same place in the same way, and you think you're getting something different, you're not. Switch away with Rick and Kelly. We'll see you on Monday. We'll see you here tomorrow. Also, our
recap,
our Beverly Hills recap.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. I'm excited to see the next edition.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, it's so cozy right now.
Oh, yeah. When it's raining like this,
you
just want to cuddle up.
You do.
Let's go do some cuddling.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.